I'll send you a text to remind you about picking up the t-shirts tomorrow. Okay. So it's on email.
Hey, Hank, how are you? Here, I don't know if you saw that from Mr. Okay. Hey, Jackie.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff I want to tell you. Jack. But this week's going better than last week, I'll tell you that.
Good. Boom, boom.
It's 7 o'clock, so continue to meet our place at 6:30 and do a closed session. Came back in open session, so we'll go right into public comment. So if anybody wants to address the board, please state your name and address.
Hi, Adam Jaramillo, 350 West Geneva Street, Village President of Williams Bay. I just came here to thank the school board, the school district, families, the students, absolutely everyone for helping the village get through we're calling the water crisis of 2025. The volunteership that was shown was outstanding. We had representatives from the school board itself. We had faculty and staff. We had students even out there helping with the water distribution. The school itself was an amazing resource. We still have the water back there. It's amazing that immediately the viewers were there to accept the water deliveries, to be the location for the water distribution site, to let us host that special meeting here. I know I thanked you last Tuesday for this, but I'm thanking you guys again. We're just so grateful for everything you've done. And a special shout out to Ryan Quinn for everything that he did in helping. Want to embarrass him again. But thank you, Dr. White, for being the point person on all that. And I know Jack and Mark specifically were there handing out water on behalf of the school board. So I'll just leave it at that. Thank you again. So we really appreciate it. I think it showed the best of our community and our school district. And I'm glad that we have that joint meeting with the village board and school board coming up in 2 weeks from today, and kind of continue fostering this joint cooperation between our boards. So thanks again.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate your leadership. We appreciate your leadership during the time, and it could have gone a lot longer, and we appreciate that you guys saw this coming and took steps before it even happened to minimize the time and the amount of water that we had to use. As far you see, we still got plenty of bottled water, so so we appreciate that as well. So we appreciate working with you on the village level. Does anyone else have anything they want to add?
Just say we appreciate your leadership. Yeah, thank you.
I just want to echo everything Adam said, and again, the partnership between the district and the village, we've really nurtured that over the last few years. Working very closely with Emily Sanders from the library and Joy, to working with Chief Tim, Doug Smith, Ryan Canope. Those partnerships made this pretty seamless and allowed us to communicate pretty freely and work together. And it was just very amazing, quite amazing. All of our kids were out there volunteering. We had board members volunteering, staff volunteering. So it was just an impressive effort on everybody's part. And again, thank you, Adam, for your leadership and really being visible and stepping up. You look great on the news.
All right, is there anybody else that wants to make public comment? Hearing none, we'll go to our student reps. Good evening.
Hi. Hello, my name is Lauren Schnobel. I'm a senior. I play volleyball, basketball. I'm student council president this year. So I just want to do thank you. Doing little introductions.
I'm Avery Kimmerly. I'm also a senior. I play tennis, and currently I'm Spanish club vice president, but our elections are next week, and I'm hoping for actual president.
Good luck. Congratulations on all that achievement.
So first we want to talk about how the first day of school went in general. Right when we walked in, we were greeted by the Driven team. They were handing out bracelets and little stars that had like handwritten messages on them, kind of get everyone pumped up for the first day of school. As the school year has kind of started, the next thing we've kind of done is we've gotten all of our clubs back into action. A lot of our clubs have had their first year meetings within the past week. Today we had FBLA. I know tomorrow we have Spanish club, and then Friday we have both. There's a student council meeting from what I've heard, and there's going to be an engineering club meeting where we're going to talk about EMDC and Skills USA plans. But then also throughout this entire summer, our agricultural science club has been very active in the school garden outside. And within the past week, we've had a lot of student volunteers. I know Lauren was out there just the other day, harvesting tomatoes and squash and garlic and all of the different vegetables that we've been growing over the summer. Yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then as far as moving on from clubs, sports have been off to a great start. Right now we have co-oping with Bigfoot. We have cross country, girls tennis, boys soccer, and then here we have football, volleyball, and I think that's it. Football has been off to a great start. I know they've got a couple wins. They just had a win this past Friday at Princeton Green Lake, I believe. And then volleyball, we had our first win on a tournament on Saturday. We got a couple wins there, and we play Faith Christian tomorrow, who we did beat at the tournament, so hopefully it should be a good game. And that's also our staff appreciation game, so each girl from the varsity team got to choose a staff member and ask them to be like our buddy, I guess, and they're gonna pepper with us, kind of help us warm up, and then it should be a really fun night and hopefully a win.
And then aside from the extracurricular side of things, we've actually had this new system implemented this year for taking attendance within the classrooms. It's essentially like a phone holder system where the teachers have to count the number of phones within our little phone pouches. It's like a little calculator pouch that we keep on doors. And it's really helped our students' attention spans within classes and the ability to focus because they're not being distracted by these devices that they're keeping on them at all times, which is really helping the classes move more smoothly and helping the students learn what they're supposed to be learning. So that's a big success, especially from last year.
Everything's gone really smoothly with that, thankfully. And then the last thing I want to touch on is student council. We're just kind of getting ramped up this year, but we had a meeting over the summer to make the rules of the school video. So we played that on the first day. It was kind of a fun way to introduce the basic rules that we have. And then we have our first meeting is on Friday, so our first official meeting of the school year where we'll plan some stuff for homecoming, like dress-up days. The theme is Party in the U.S. Bay, so that'll be fun. Exactly. That was Gracie Pills came up with that one. And then we have our blood drive coming up in a couple months, which we're starting to try to get donations for. And that's, I think, all we have. Any questions for us?
I do have one. What time is the volleyball game tomorrow?
JV is at, I think 5 o'clock. Yeah. 6:30 varsity. 6:30 for varsity.
And the JV was?
5 o'clock, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Great report.
Yes,
Thank
you.
you.
And we really appreciate the feedback on what's going on in the classroom, because we're concerned about how this whole system would work, and so hearing from the students on how it's working is great feedback, so we appreciate that.
And it's been really successful. Our administrators have been doing a great job at making sure that it's working smoothly.
And she didn't make you say that? Did she make you say that?
No, just genuinely from observation.
But yeah, even like from some of the kids who aren't, wouldn't really be as acceptable of putting their phones in the pouch have been pretty okay with it. Like, I haven't heard anyone be super like outraged or grumbly. So it's been good that way.
Awesome. Thanks
Yeah.
again.
Thank
And
Yes,
great
you're
report.
welcome.
Great job.
Thank you.
With that, we'll move on to Dr. White. Do you have anything beyond the agenda?
Yeah, just go quickly. First of all, the WASB regional meeting is coming up on the 23rd of September. If any of you are attending that, please make sure you've talked with Des. If any of you are attending, I may try to attend as well, so just let me know if any of you are going. Also, I put in my notes that we're looking at special ed staffing. We've had some students move in with some pretty significant needs. So right now, Mr. Colosimo has posted a aide position and a teaching position so we can see what kind of pool of candidates we can generate. Once we know what our most viable pool is and where we might be able to get a candidate from, then I will bring to the board most likely in October a recommendation to add a position, which again may be a teaching position, may be an aide position, but that's where we're at.
Excellent. Any questions for Dr. White? All right. Moving on to athletic directors and sports booths.
Good evening. Notes is presented, obviously a lot of stuff I've put in there or the young ladies just talked about. I just wanted to say participation numbers for the fall are pretty good right now. We're a little low in middle school girls softball. We had some kids that decided to play club ball or do some other things. So we're down a little. We're going to try to give it a go tomorrow with I think 10. And we'll see how long we can go with that. Otherwise, if they don't run, we are just going to have practices and kind of get them ready for spring softball when it comes to high school or their own club teams and stuff like that. Otherwise, the only one thing I did want to say, if you've looked at our website lately, it's a little different. I am not a fan of it right now. I've told the company I think it's not very good from what we had to moving to now. I just want you to know it is something I'm trying to keep up to date. I'm waiting for new things to roll out just so we have that information. If not, there's been some talk about possibly us using a different company for our conference. So I don't want to go looking for something better to find out we're going with something else. So we're kind of staying status quo right now, but please understand it is not what I want right now. So just a heads up. Otherwise, do you have any questions for me?
No.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you.
All right. Moving on to parent-teacher organization. I don't see anyone here to represent that, so we'll move on to middle
They do
school.
have their first meeting this Thursday at, what time, Ally?
6:15 in the elementary lunchroom.
So
Okay.
if anybody'd like to attend, they're always looking for support and
That's
help.
this Thursday, 6:15. All right. Moving on to middle school, high school. Mrs. Sully Johnson.
Good evening. Thank you to our student reps. They did an excellent job, and I didn't tell them what to say at all. They were all planned for that. Finn this evening did have a soccer game, and then I know Aaron had football, but they are looking to come in the future. A couple of things to highlight. We did have Bailey the Bulldog show up in the new costume, so that was great on the first day. We had some wonderful showings of learnings we had from building a thinking classroom in mathematics. It was fun to go in the classrooms last week and see some of that happening. We had a great open house, an ice cream social. I didn't put that in here, but we are looking forward to making that an annual event. It was packed. It was so great. Emily Sanders was here. It's okay, she's on her phone, but I'll just pretend I didn't say. I'm just kidding. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Way to call her out.
No, but it really was a great evening. We had community representation, and nearly our entire sixth grade class but two showed up, and teachers said it was great to have it before school started.
Nice.
So notes are as presented. Are there any questions you have of me?
I was going to ask, and maybe this is something for our Saturday work session, was your data
Yeah.
in service? I don't know if you want to speak about. that in particular, or what data?
What I will
did a
tell
review
you,
of?
it was an overwhelmingly large amount of data within an 8-hour time period, but if you, and I will gladly share the survey responses from our staff, everybody said it was well worth their time. Whether you taught or teach PE, music, science, tech ed, social studies, this is our data of our students, and we all contribute to that. So it doesn't matter, they're our kids. And it was very eye-opening to see, and then to look at what we can do. Eric provided some resources and sample test problems, little things we can be implementing within the classroom. But yes, I will gladly put more of that into a presentation for our upcoming Saturday work session.
And if you guys do have things you want them to address specifically in their presentations on that Saturday work session.
Is there data you can share ahead of that so we can take a look at it instead of getting overwhelmed on the day of that meeting, or is that?
We will discuss that tomorrow in our administrative meeting and see what we can provide you guys that you can see in advance.
Yeah, because some of it is still embargoed, if I'm saying that correctly. So.
Understood. That's
okay,
fine.
great.
What you can.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else?
Any other questions? Thank you so much.
Okay,
Yep,
thank you.
Moving on to elementary, Dr. Bond.
Good evening. Notes is presented, and we have just had a wonderful start to the school year. The new teachers are doing well, feeling comfortable. I've been in and out of every classroom every day, and students are just engaged and enjoying and getting a sense of belonging and building all those things within the classroom. So it's really great to see. I do have a correction in my calendar portion of my notes. There is it says potential Donuts with Grown-Ups on the 19th, and that actually got moved up to this Friday. So if you are available to join us for Donuts with Grown-Ups on Friday between 7:30 and 8:15, you are more than welcome to stop in and enjoy with us. Any questions?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Bears kickoff. Go Bears.
What happened?
It's been nice working with you, Dr.
She gets my vote.
Move on to special education and school psychologist. Chris, if you want to come up?
There are some special
Allie, I'll be holding office hours here shortly. Please feel free to stop by. Notes is presented. One highlight to that is our special education team will be undergoing a procedural self-compliance over the next 2 months. That involves us going through our IEPs, ensuring that we are meeting all federal and state guidance and regulations. So that'll be a good learning experience for our team. That will encompass quite a bit of our time as well as we move forward. Any questions?
That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anything from the school board members? Yes?
No.
Oh, I thought you put your hand
no,
up.
I was
You can just talk, you don't have to reach out. All right, with that, we'll move on to the action items. So the consent agenda, if someone wants to make a motion to accept.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to personnel transactions, looks like we have one.
We had one resignation from Mrs. Anne-Marie Gump. She was our English language learner teacher. She was shared between us and Bigfoot. We held her contract. She worked 40% here and 60% at Bigfoot. She found a position that just really fit what she needed as a mom and as a wife and just as a person. So we're recommending accepting her resignation. We will be using her on a subcontracting basis. She's going to take care of some of our access testing and some of those duties that we need fulfilled in order to meet the requirements for our EL students.
Entertain a motion.
I move to approve the personnel transactions listed on the September 8, 2025 personnel transaction sheet.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, then we're going to look to set a date for our October meeting. For the
Correct.
work
So we
session.
need to set the date to set the tax levy and establish the budget. That's usually done toward the end of October so that we have all the data we need, including third Friday enrollment. The last few years, we've just shifted the regular monthly meeting back toward the end of October. So we could do that, or you can keep your second Monday of the month for your regular meeting and then add a special meeting at the end of the month. So I've given you 2 sample motions there for whatever you guys want to do.
So how do you feel about going on the 27th, everybody?
I can do the 27th.
27th work for you guys?
Give me 1 second here. Yeah, I could do the 27th.
I don't know about the 27th. I guess I'm gone through the 25th.
Monday.
It's a Monday. Yeah, I'm going the 20th through the 25th.
Up to you.
So Mark, you're good?
27th?
Yeah.
Yes.
So just move the meeting?
Yeah, just move the monthly meeting to the 27th so we can do both in one night.
Yeah.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to do that.
I'll move to set the date for the October regular monthly meeting for October 27th at 7 p.m. still?
Yes.
7 p.m.
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, and then we're moving on to discussion items. The joint village board, school board meeting.
So we have set a joint village meeting, as Adam had mentioned earlier in his message. That is for Monday, September 22nd at 7 p.m. Right now, the agenda items I have slated for you is just looking at the school district finances and how the district is keeping its commitments made during the referendum process. Certainly then financial issues and needs that may impact the school district and the village, because we always like to sort of make sure what each other's doing so we don't overwhelm our taxpayers and those things. Talk about our school district playgrounds and how that the village and the school district may jointly use those, and then continue to enhance the collaboration between the village and the school district. Those are the 4 things I have right now. If you have other things you'd like added or want me to revise those, I certainly can.
Does anyone have anything at this time that they want to bring up for the agenda, or anything they want to just discuss that's already proposed?
No.
Nothing additional, no.
All right. So we will, if you come up with any other ideas, of course, contact Dr. White. Otherwise, we can move on to the other discussion topic, which is the potential revision for the employee handbook.
So we had an employee who's approached about potentially doing a job share. That would be an 80-20 split. That employee would work 4 days a week, and the person they're sharing would work 1 day a week. The person that is making the request is a full-time employee, so their employment would shift to 80%. They would maintain their health insurance, and in accordance, their sick days and those things would probably be adjusted in accordance with the employee handbook. Before we get too far out ahead of that, I wanted the board to have a chance to discuss it, ask questions, because if we're going to create a job share, my personal belief is that it should be in handbook language, so we have the ground rules of how those are going to be done out there for anyone else who might want to request a job share, because ultimately I like that consistency and not making individual decisions as things roll along, kind of a thing.
Currently, there is no language about job share in the employee handbook.
There is no language about job shares in our handbook. There are no policies regarding job shares. It is a thing that occurred in the district many years ago with 2 teachers shared a job. We do have sort of a job share in our 3K positions where we have 2 employees that basically share the 3K aide position. So they've somewhat existed. In most of those cases, the current situation, that came that way, because that in order for us to get that position filled, those people proposed that to us to be hired that way. So they weren't hired as a job share, they were both hired 50% is what they were hired at.
So, question, as the one person up here who has not taught in the classroom, is this common? I mean, I'm familiar with when you can't find somebody full-time, bringing 2 people into job share, but is it common in schools to?
There are districts that do that as a service to their employees. When you read sample language in other districts' handbooks, it's due to really support the change in needs of their employees. Okay. Certainly as life circumstances change, working full-time is a difficulty, for a variety of different reasons. Certainly when you have good employees and you want to maintain them, that is certainly a potential way to retain that employee. So the tricky part becomes when the job share ends, how that is handled. And that's a piece that we would really have to work with our employee groups on. How do you handle it if the job share ends amicably and one person wants to return to full time? How do we handle it if the job share doesn't end well, whereas somebody's not performing well and we have to, the district chooses to end that. So those are pieces that'll have to be massaged out in language if the board wants to add that, language to a handbook for the support staff or for the certified staff. So, and I do have draft language. So what I'm proposing is that the members of the employee handbook group, and I believe that's Patrick and Carolyn, that I share that potential language with you and have you as the board representatives really work through that, make adjustments to it, and see if that's something that you feel as committee members should move on to the board as a whole.
Seems reasonable.
Okay. Any other comments regarding the job share? I think it's a good idea to go down that road. Like you said, you want to give the employees options to stay here because we want to retain them. So, yeah.
As far as the current request, my understanding, I'm going to believe based on your questions and things, we need to get the policy in place before we go ahead and make a decision on that job share.
I'm assuming you've looked at language for other districts and kind of taken what works for us and put that into.
I've started drafting stuff that I thought would work for us. Certainly I want to give board input, and then I want to give the employee groups a chance to look it over and make sure that they all find it acceptable.
Absolutely.
Certainly being very clear, certain positions are conducive to a job share, other positions are not. It's just not doable. It may be doable in some cases to reduce somebody's contract from 100% to maybe 80% or like that, but for somebody else to come in and pick up their duties, it's not always exactly efficient. Secondly, and in some positions, kids just need a continuity of the same person each and every day. So
next step on this will be, it goes to Pat and Carolyn. Okay.
Goes to the handbook committee, correct.
We don't have a current meeting scheduled, right?
So I'll send you a copy of the language and then you guys can look at it. We can go back and forth a little bit, then we can maybe set up a meeting maybe before the October board meeting. Or we can set up a special meeting if you want.
All right. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, we can move on to public comments. If anybody wants to make Dr. Bond wait longer for the game,
I think that's a great idea. Everybody has a 5-minute public comment requirement before you leave tonight. Make it 10.
Sorry, Dr. Bond. I just wanted to cover Adam Jaramillo again, a couple of logistic things that I didn't cover in my first part, was just that Public Works is going to be coordinating with you guys to get this water off of your stage in the very near future. We're going to be storing it at the Public Works building in the village. Those Culligan machines that you have, we can't refund the full 5-gallon tanks, so you're encouraged to use up any that you can, continue using them. They are rentals, so they will be going back by October is what it looks like, speaking with our emergency management coordinator, Police Chief Tim. And you're welcome for the several dozen wooden pallets that are going to be added to the bonfire this year for homecoming. So those things got that nice big air gap in them. They should burn really well.
They burn fast and hot.
So yeah, all right. If there are any other questions, please reach out and we'll be staff or me will be happy to help you with that. So that's all.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
So my understanding, you're encouraging a filibuster, so I can just start
I
talking
was thinking
and
of,
keep going.
I could read
and
War and Peace or something.
I've got lots of things I can talk about if you.
Anybody else want to make her suffer?
No, she's suffering enough. She's a Bears fan.
With that, I entertain a motion to adjourn. Anybody? Motion to adjourn?
I can do it. Nope, I'm good. I like it here.
I would like to go home.
You want a motion to?
You want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
That's all we need. Good having you, everybody.
There we go.
Don't need
Go
a
watch
second.
the Bears.